Ho, ho, ho. Check this out. This is pretty wild. First live stream in literally like no more than 6 months. That's so bad. I think the last time live streamed was definitely in Riverside, and it was like during the summer. So it might even be more than 6 months. I am just going to continue on with this project that I started like a day and a half ago. Oh, sorry about the lighting. It's like so cold, and this is like the first day that the sun has been out. So I'm trying to like soak it all in. I'm very washed out right now, but it feels so good to sit in the sun. Hello. Lotta, burst. Okay, I need to continue on with this project because this is going to take me a while. So I'm just trying to like crank out as much as I can while I have, some downtime, because there's going to be some moments where like I can't really work on this project. So, just trying to get as much done as I can in the meantime. Hi, Nikki. The sun, it feels so good. I think today is like, let's check the temperature. Today is a warmer day. Oh, yeah, it's 30 degrees today, or 30 right now. So it's warm. Isn't that funny? My definition of warm and cold has kind of shifted. 30 is a warm day, 15 is cold. And we're getting snow again on Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, I was checking. Oh my gosh, like the snow, how much snow we're going to get. And the other day it said that on Sunday we're supposed to get like 10 inches. And then next week, like Wednesday or Thursday, we're going to get like 14 inches in one day. What is that? That's so much. So yeah, today's a dry day. Snow tomorrow and Sunday. Hi, Lawrence. Asher. Good morning from Cali. Oh, my Cali people. I won't lie, I do miss California. Parts of it. I miss the Cali sun so bad. Like, it's a stark contrast because Cali was like super hot, like 100 and some degrees in the summer. But the sun, like, levels of warmth, very different, being lower to the equator versus Boston's like a little bit higher. Oh my God. I miss the sun. Nikki, he said snow is the one thing I can't deal with. I live in Vegas most of my life, so I only know how to deal with the heat. Okay, so the snow, it's beautiful. I love the snow, but it's like when it mixes with the rain is when it becomes a problem. So like 2 days ago, it snowed and there was like an inch or two, and then it rained immediately after. So then everything turned to slush. And then when it hardens, it just turns to ice. Bruh. I only like it if it like snows and then it's dry after. Yeah. Welcome to the East Coast. So dry this winter. What? This winter is dry? What? I'd say like almost every time I leave the house and I'm like walking, if there's like snow and ice, I'll like almost eat it. Like, like you're about to slip and like you get like a hot flash. It's like the scariest 1 second. Like, am I going to break my tailbone right now? Okay, so somebody asked what I'm crocheting. Ooh, that looks good. It's a little bit like, it looks a little sheer. It's not. But does anybody recognize this? This is something I have made before on my channel. But yeah, I'm just going to let you guys think about this for like a minute or two and I'll freaking spoil it. But I started this, yeah, like a day and a half ago. It is a sweater. And look at this texture. So nice. I like it in the sun. It looks freaking gorge. Yeah, I'll talk about the project in a second. Good evening. Good evening from Ireland. Hello and welcome. It is so good to be live. I did not think I was going to be this pumped for a live stream, but it's been a minute. I need to like just jump back into it. I can't say I'll be doing live streams every week, but I am going to aim. I'm going to try my best. I think either like Thursdays or Fridays for live streams. But yeah, I need to get on like something that's more consistent. I took way too long of a hiatus, and then the last like 2 months has been no joke. It's been like a serious depression funk. It's been weird. I don't think I've ever really felt this way before. So yeah, 2 months were funky, and I'm just starting to like, feel good again, have good spirits. So yeah, I miss live streaming so much. Asher, you left just in time to avoid the fires and the floods. I know. It was kind of trippy. Like it was like something happened in Cali maybe like a few weeks after we had left, and then the fires happened recently. It's just kind of surreal, like to know that our hometown looked like that. I can't even imagine what Altadena looks like right now. And like with my previous job, I used to drive through there all the time. I can't imagine. It doesn't even look the same anymore. And they're just going to rebuild shit on top of that. I wonder what they're going to build back. Seeing you sitting in the sun with the sun on your face makes me want to sit out in the sun, but it's 10 p.m. So that's another thing that I miss, because I don't think I showed it too much, but in Riverside back in Cali, we had a deck. Hey, 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 Gertie. You want to say hi? Oh, yes. Okay, good job. Yeah. You want to show him how big you've gotten? We took her to the vet earlier this week. She's in good health. She's full grown. She's 19 point something pounds. And she got a bath yesterday. But yes, as I was saying, we used to have, excuse me, can I sit here? We used to have a deck at our old apartment, and then we had these like lounge chairs. So I would almost every single day, I would sit out on the deck and I would like sunbathe. I would either just bathe or I'd be like crocheting. But that's like such a small thing, but it feels so big now. Like I wish I could have that, because where we are now, we don't really have like a front yard. And we kind of share our space, like our backyard, with our upstairs neighbors. So even if I could lay out, I don't know if it would be the most appropriate, because they could just like watch me in a bikini, which is weird, So I don't really have the luxury of like sunbathing anymore, which makes me kind of sad. I miss it. You live in Germany and it's dark here. It's probably so cold in Germany too. You thought the growl was a plane passing by? She's a big girl now. And she's all up to date on her puppy vaccinations and everything. That was something I really wanted to like make sure that we got done. And we kind of lagged. Like after we moved here, I think back in, am I doing this right? Back in like October, I wanted to get her like a checkup. And then we just kept pushing it, but finally got it done. It only took us 6 months. Hello. I can't even see my stitches now. Okay, I'm going to talk about it. So this is kind of, I want to say spur of the moment, but not really, because it has been on my bingo card for a very long time. I'd say like pretty soon after I started writing patterns. Anyways, this is the first sweater tutorial that I ever put out on my channel. It's the one where Jordan, it's the green sweater and Jordan is the thumbnail. So obviously back at that time when I made that tutorial, I wasn't writing patterns or anything. And once I started getting into writing patterns, this was something that I really wanted to remake and like adjust and change because obviously, you know, when I made that, the sweater wasn't perfect by any means. So finally, I am like rewriting, not even rewriting, I am writing a pattern for the sweater to like go along with the tutorial. But I'm also like adjusting and fixing and like tweaking the things that a lot of people either like had issues with or things that I didn't necessarily like. So anyways, this is like the revised sweater. And it looks so good. I love the texture of it. So yeah, I'm making another sweater. I don't even know if Jordan's gonna watch this, then the surprise is like out the door because I didn't even tell him about this yet. If you're watching this, Jojo, eventually you'll have a sweater. I don't know if I'll get it done in the next month. This is kind of going to be like my therapeutic whenever I can kind of project because I have something else I want to work on. But if I've got like downtime or whatever, I'm just going to like slowly chip away at this. But yeah, a few things I want to correct with this sweater was a little bit of the sizing. That initial sweater, I had made it a little bit too oversized, like in my opinion, for Jordan. So I kind of just want to bring it in just a little bit. A huge thing I've been wanting to change was the density of the sweater. Now, like you can use, as I said in the tutorial, like any yarn, whatever. But at the time, I was using a really thick worsted weight yarn and a 5 millimeter, which it turned out great, but it's super dense. Like it's super heavy. It's very, very thick to the point where like he can't even wear the sweater that much because it's just so heavy. He can't breathe in it and he'll overheat. So I'm changing the gauge a little bit and the thickness. I'm using a 6.5 compared to the 5.0. So this is a nice step up and you can kind of see like in the sun, it has a little bit more breathability, which is great. It's not so heavy and it still has like a little drape, a little tiny drape. But this is Lion Brand Heartland yarn. It's still considered a worsted weight. So yeah, and then eventually when I get there, I wanted to like fix the neckline. Oh my God. Even to this day, I look back at the thumbnail and I'm like, it's a good sweater, but the neckline, it looks a little janky. It looks a little, so I'm excited to fix that, make it a little bit tighter, a little bit cleaner, and, you know, give like proper instructions. Because in the tutorial at the time, I was just like, yeah, do this. And everybody's like, what do you mean do this? I don't get it. So yeah, we're fixing a lot of things. But yeah, sweater. So yeah, that's what I've been up to the last few days. Oh, thank you. I want to say Eli, but it might be Elif. Thank you, Elif. It's funny, like at the start of my live streams, I always feel like really calm. And then once I get going, I feel really like chatty Cathy. Like, boo, 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 boo. So I'm glad that you guys don't mind that I'm like, that was the first video that led you to my channel, Asher. See, that's crazy. And that's like, I was checking it the other day. The video was posted, I don't know like the exact number, but like 4 years ago. 4 years ago. And I've been writing patterns. It's relatively new to me, but I'd say like a year like a year and a half now, maybe a little bit more than a year and a half. Yeah, this is something I've been setting out to do for the longest time. Like when I first got into writing patterns, I had the first pattern I ever wrote was for like that little belt accessory that you could wear like 4 different ways. And at that time I was like, okay, eventually I want to remake this pattern and this pattern, this pattern. But this was like top of the list. I kind of had I kept pushing it off because it's a big project. It's a freaking sweater. And not only is it a sweater, it's an oversized sweater for JoJo. So it's just a long project. And then to top it off, the stitch design, it's dense and it takes a long time. And I don't know if I told you guys this yet, but in that pattern, it's I alternate between slip stitches and half double crochets, which let me just say for like beginner YouTube Erin, wild of me to make a sweater out of slip stitches and then half double crochets. Yeah, I can't believe I did that. So, I mean, it's a gorgeous texture. I'm glad I did it. But those are kind of like some of the reasons why I kept not working on this project. Hook. 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 So yeah, we're finally getting around to it. But yeah, like I said, just a fun little when I have time project. I don't want to rush through it too much. And when it's done, it's done. I think if anything, my main goal is to just have this pattern written up before next winter. That's my only guideline that I have for myself, which is nice to like not put the pressure on me, like on myself, you know? My sweater. This is also like a new sweater that I got. It's supposed to be like an off the shoulder, but it just keeps all day I've been adjusting it. I feel like it's supposed to sit down here. But if I like reach for something, oh, there she goes. It's driving me a little wild. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so glad you guys like it. I'm so glad. This is like I don't know if the color looks super accurate, but this is the colorway Mammoth Caves or Mammoth Cave in the Heartland line. It's kind of like it's kind of like an ashy brown, taupey ashy brown, but I like it. It's not super dark, like it's kind of in the shadows, but I like it. It's like a medium tone brown, a little ashy. She's gorge though. Gorge. Hey, that's crazy. Curtis, you knew it was Mammoth Cave? Wait, that's wild. You're using this colorway right now for a sweater? That's crazy. How did that work out? It's funny because I've only used Heartland yarn like a few times in the past for smaller projects too. So this is my first time using it for like a big wearable. But it's a really nice yarn. It feels pretty slippery smooth. I like it. I really don't have any complaints as of yet. There's dog hair on it already. But then again, I am just like in the beginning of this. This is just the front panel. It's as far as I've gone. Excuse me if I burp. You're crocheting a Bernat Star crochet blanket. Hey. Elif? You said Elif was right. Elif. Oh, it's a turkey. Like a Turkish name or a turkey name? I know the video. That's my first video to hit a milli. It's my only video to hit a milli. But yeah, the crochet sweater. It's funny because my top videos are Jordan. Isn't that funny how that works out? It's cool though. Jordan, the sweater is the number one. It's at like 1.1 million, which is wild. And then the second most viewed video on my channel is the beanie tutorial. And that's also Jordan. I'm sensing a theme here. And the theme being that people are coming to my channel for Jordan, which is totally cool. Keep it coming. I'll have to take new photos of him in this. Honestly, the line Heartland had a lot of really gorgeous colorways. I'm just really picky, especially like trying to pick out a color for Jordan. I know him and like his preferences, but they had some really gorgeous colorways. They had, I don't even remember the names of them, but they had one that was kind of like a deeper, like heathered burgundy, which was really gorgeous. And then I think it was the colorway Joshua Tree. That one's like kind of yellowy, right? Like yellow brown. I like that one a lot too. But I couldn't picture Jordan in like a yellow mustard sweater. I felt like this was a safer way to go, you know? You said it's elegant. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Jen, you did see my mom came to Boston right like at the end, like middle to end of December. She came like right before Christmas, I think. She had a really good time. It's funny because she said she had been to Boston once in her life before, and that was for my uncle who has passed. He graduated from college out here back in the, I want to say, late 70s, early 80s. I don't know the correct year, but he graduated out here. So she had flown out here way back in like the 80s for his graduation. And that was it. And she was only in town for like a couple of days. So her coming back out here was like kind of new for her. Jordan and I showed her around like downtown. We took her towards, I don't know if you guys know this, but like off the Green Line, like Copley, um, what's kind of like Chestnut Hill area. But yeah, we just kind of showed her like the big spots to go to. And then one of the days that Jordan was at work, I just took her. Am I doing this right? I was kind of showing her some of the more like historical spots around town, which is always, for me, it's very fun. Am I? Oh, yeah. See, it's like I only have 2 stitches that I'm working with here, but if I get distracted, sometimes I can't tell what stitch I just worked. It's either a half double or a slip stitch. You think I'd be able to tell. See, I can get like on a roll, but I mean, are we surprised? Y'all know the drill yet. If you guys are new here to the live streams, let me just break it down for you. First 5 minutes, pretty good with the crochet, the talking. It's a nice little balance. 10 minutes in, crochet is out the door. I've forsaken it. It's just me talking. And I like won't touch it for the rest of the live stream. So if I get more than 1 row done, we're off to a good start. You see me in this sweater? It's just going to do it again. And I haven't gone to Webs yet. I was looking it up when we first moved here, and Webs is, I don't know, I can't remember. I think like 30 or 40, maybe like a 45-minute drive away. And I don't drive anymore. So I haven't gone to Webs yet, but I would love to. I can't imagine how big that store is. Maybe that's something I can plan for like spring. But yeah. Ooh. Do I miss living in Cali? I kind of talked about this at the start of the live stream. There's a few things that I do miss. Another thing that just hit me, I can't believe I'm going to say this. I miss driving. I miss driving because Cali, especially like Southern California, where I spent like my whole life, driving is a daily ritual. If I want to go to the gym, you got to drive. I used to. If I want to get coffee, you got to drive. If you want to freaking do anything, outside of your home. Like nothing is ever really like in walking distance. Haircut, gotta drive to it. Everything. I don't miss traffic, but I just miss sitting in the car, driving on the highway or something, listening to music, getting in a good vibe, you drinking your coffee. I miss all that. So I'd say on average, I drive once a month. Once a month, and I'll drive like zero point 0.5 miles to the Stop and Shop by our home, get groceries, and then I'm back home and that's it. So I think it was last week I drove to see one of my crochet friends who lives, I don't know if you guys know Joella Crafts. She lives in Rhode Island. So for my first time since we moved here, I got to drive from here to Rhode Island. I was in the car for like an hour and 10 minutes, and it was so nice. I miss driving on the freeway. So yeah, certain things like that I really miss a lot. Our neighbors upstairs, they have 2 dogs that Suki loves, but when they start like barking and running around, she can hear them and then she goes bonkers. So yeah, she's on one right now. Cindy. Hi, Erin. Welcome to the Boston area. I'm wrapping up I can't even read. I'm wrapping up a raglan sweater based on your video tutorial. I want to see it, y'all. I'm trying to also get back into the Discord. So if you want to make friends there and share your projects and stuff and get feedback or anything, post your projects in the Discord and then everybody can see it. Oh yeah, happy Valentine's Day to those that celebrate. Look at this sweater, freaking annoying me. Happy V-Day. Any big plans? The funny thing right now actually is that Jordan is actually on a work trip right now. He's not even in Boston. But I got my other Valentine, permanent. She's probably actually, oh yeah, she's laying on his sweater right now in the bedroom. She obviously misses her dad. A mom can only do so much. Okay, wait. I need to finish at least this one row. Let's just. My son, I'm already losing it. It's shifting. Man, this yarn feels so good. It's like on the verge of being almost too slippery, dare I say. But I like it. I feel like after one wash, it might get like some texture to it. I don't want to say like pilling or anything, but it might like fluff a little bit more and give it some grip so that's not so slippery. We're gonna finish this row. And speaking of Valentine's Day, I didn't even mention it yet. I did launch I almost said Valentine's. I did launch my winter yarn collection today. So if you guys are curious, you want to see the colorways, you can go to my website. I have 5 new colors, and I think if I have to pick a favorite, it's either the red shade, which is the perfect red, or it's the green one, hibernation. That one, I think I'm going to make a beanie with the chunky yarn because I have it dyed on chunky. And that's another thing. I got my hands on some superwash chunky. So now I have chunky weight on my website as well. I like the chunky a lot. It's like a 3-ply. It feels really soft. Still has a lot of squish. And I was able to make a beanie with only 1 hank of the yarn. So literally under 106 yards, which I was surprised. I thought I was going to have to hank up, wind 2 of them. I got away with 1. Oh, Jen. How many times have you been to Webb's? Actually, it might be more like an hour from me. I haven't really checked it since that first time, but I'm definitely down to go. I think I just need to plan for it. I can't just like do it on a whim, especially if I'm driving like an hour out ish an hour. I want to make use of my time. Like I'll probably be at that store for a couple of hours because I think it's big, right? Oh, threaded. So threaded aura. So I still drive occasionally, but I just don't drive every day like I used to in Cali. Like back before we moved, you guys know I love to buy iced coffee and go yarn shopping and stuff. So I'm always leaving the house. Like every day you had to get in your car to do anything, to go anywhere. But now that I live in Boston, I take the trains when I leave the house. Um, I'd say like the only times that we do drive is if we go to the grocery store. But even then, like Jordan will drive us, and it's like 2 minutes down the street, you know. But now it's I just take the subway everywhere, the train or the subway. So there's not really a need to drive. And the few times that we did try driving around downtown, like when we first moved here, it was a mess. It was a nightmare. Like it just kind of reminds me of LA, like downtown. It's just like it's going to take you 30 minutes to go 2 miles, kind of bullshit, you know? So it's not really worth it to drive. And it's also freaking, I don't know, just the way people drive out here. Wild, wild. I would rather do public transportation just because we live so close to the city. That being said, eventually, if we do move further out of Boston, like, you know, in mass, but further outside of the city, I'm sure I'll end up driving a lot more. It's just that we're so close to downtown that it pretty much only makes sense to do public transportation. Also, parking garages or trying to like pay for parking, ridiculous. Every parking garage around us is like $17 for the first hour. Huh? No, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. So that's why we don't drive anymore. I miss it so much. So right now, because I'm like in the live stream, I can try to get the Discord link, but you can go to any of my YouTube videos, like any of the recent ones, and the Discord link is in the description of like all my videos. So just click on any random one and then go to like socials, my little social thing, and then the Discord link is there. I know, right? I'm trying to, each time the sun shifts, I need to like move back with it. God, look at me. I probably won't wear this top again for a minute, or I need to like take it to the tailors and maybe I can have them like sew the flap down because it's annoying the crap out of me. Also, let me know if I'm assuming y'all can hear me just fine. Jordan got me, got me this mic. I love it's so big, but I'm just hoping you guys can like hear me out fine because this is my first time using it for a live stream. What's my favorite color? Seafoam green. Yeah. Green, blues, anything like that. You can probably tell by like looking at all of my makes. Everything is like earth tones. Come here. Come here. Who do you hear? Oh. Oh. Yes. Okay, good girl. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes. You tell him. Tell him. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Yo, the red shade, it took me a little, I don't don't want to say a while to find the right shade, but I was just really particular about it. And it's funny because like in the dye pan, it's kind of hard to see like the differences, but when the yarn dries, you can really tell like the shade obviously. So trying to dial in that perfect red, I didn't want it to be like too orangey or too blue. So I'm glad that you think it's literally the perfect red. Mm. Say hi, baby. Oh, yeah. That's you. Just burp. This is Suki, everybody. Yeah. You're such a good girl. See? You see the sweater? I'm just going to leave it up there like this. Maybe it's supposed to be like this. Yeah, downtown LA is a mess. Even like just LA County in general, it's a mess. Like, oh my God. Like driving through Pasadena at 3 p.m. Oh my God. Oh my God. It would take me 2 hours to get home after my haircut because my hairdresser, when I would get my hair cut there, she was in Pasadena. So going from there back home would be 2 hours. See, that I don't miss. I don't miss traffic. I just miss, being in control of the car and you're grooving. And I don't know. It's probably just a Cali thing. I know the Boston streets are wild. Jen said it makes sense because they're some of the first roads ever constructed. Isn't that kind of crazy to think about? Like there's there's a lot of historical parts over here, obviously, but there's like this one street, I'm blanking on it right now. But there's like really big spots like the Green Dragon Tavern. And I remember when Jordan and I went in there, they have like facts and stuff like up on the wall, but they said that tavern was first established in the 1600s, like 1630 something or 1650 something. Like, huh? Some of these spots have been around longer since before, can't even talk right now, before like the US became the US, What? It's crazy. Yeah. Some of these roads, like some of them are still like the original cobblestone. What? Crazy. There's this spot by one of my favorite coffee spots, Ogawa Coffee. But like when I first moved here, I'm like sitting in the coffee shop and I'm just like looking out the window. I'm just like, oh, look, I'm in a new city. And I'm just like reading what's on this building. And it's like, oh, yeah, the birthplace of Benjamin Franklin. Huh? What? That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I have no words. Some of these spots are kind of mind blowing to me. Not saying that I like love these historical figures or anything. It's just, I don't know. It's pretty wild to know like these people that we've read about and heard about for so long. And then you're like, oh yeah, that dude was born right here. What? It's kind of cool. Yeah, something else. I meant to take my mom to the Paul Revere house, but we just didn't get around to it yet. But they have like a museum in the house, which is kind of cool. There's the Battle of Bunker Hill, the monument. I remember learning about that when I was like in elementary. And then when some family came for like Thanksgiving, we went to the Bunker Hill Monument and I'm like, what? It's kind of trippy. Like I said, these things I've learned about or heard about for like the last 20 years. And then now it's like in front of you. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I could sew the shirt myself, but it's like, look at this. It's a comfy like little top, but this neckline, I'm not playing anymore. It's just so annoying. Like had it on all cute. It took me like 5 minutes to get it adjusted. And then I went to make coffee. Oh, I don't know. That's her bangs. Her bangs are on one right now, which is funny because I didn't comb them that way. That's just how they like naturally dry. But she gives major Dwight Schrute. Major. She has a Dwight Schrute haircut. She's actually due for a haircut pretty soon. Something I've never really had to deal with, like with having pets before, is like mats and like matted fur. But she's got that kind of fur. And I'm constantly having to like, I can't even brush out the mats. They're just so thick. I have to like cut them out. So she's got a lot like under her arms right now, like under her armpits. I spent a good like 20 minutes in the bath with her yesterday, conditioning it and like trying to brush it out. They're not going anywhere. They just have to be cut out. Poor girl. I'm sorry. You know, it's pretty wild that I got this much progress for the amount of time I put into it, because I'm pretty sure here in a moment, and by like in a moment, I mean like the next few weeks, I'm probably not going to touch this at all. I'm about to start, I might start it today, the project. I've been putting it off also. Not good on me. But the project that I got all that Hobie yarn for, I've been kind of like planning. I did some gauge swatching yesterday to figure out what stitch I want to use and like how thick and dense I want it to be. But I don't think anybody guessed correctly. Like on Instagram, when I posted that reel, I said like, leave your guesses what you think my project is going to be. Nobody guessed it. Not that I saw, which is kind of surprising. Everybody guessed temperature blanket. It's not it though. Oh my gosh, Rolling Heights. Born and raised. I was born in Rolling Heights, man. Oh, there goes the sun. Ooh, where are we going to travel to on the East Coast? Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and Portland, Maine. We do want to visit Maine. I want to go back to Rhode Island. You know, what's funny is Cape Cod is very close too. So maybe like spring, summer, we want to visit Cape Cod. Never been to Cape Cod. I think we just want to find a beach, like a good beach over here that we can go to. Because that's also something that we miss, is like Laguna Beach, Huntington Beach. So that's the cool thing about California. Even in the winter, going to the beach is like still a thing. We don't got that anymore. Dawn, happy Valentine's Day. Jessica, you came in right as I was saying what? Yeah, I know. I've heard not great things about East Coast beaches. There are a few YouTubers that I've watched like in previous years who live on the East Coast, and like they would say like, oh, this is the beach that I'm going to. It doesn't compare from what I've seen through videos, you know, but Cali beaches are just something else. I never know how to pronounce this. Cana. I want to say Cena. Cana. Oh, I should visit Montreal. Like Canada? Go up? Or are there multiple Montreals I don't know of? Okay, Cape Beach. See, things I didn't know. You said Cape beaches are nice. There's more than I thought. Like Cape Cod was just like a big beach, but I guess it kind of makes sense. Like in Laguna, there are like multiple like little beaches that you can go to. I think what was another kind of like beachy town? I think it's like upstate New York or something. But it's like a, I don't want to say an island, but you have to like take a ferry to get there. Nantucket. Any thoughts on Nantucket? I don't know. Feel free to tell me. Oh man. Bye, Curtis. Bye. Happy Valentine's. Hampton Beach. Hampton. Okay, I'll keep these in mind because we're on the hunt for some beaches. Y'all, this stream and y'all are making me feel so revitalized. I can't stress this enough. I've missed this. I've missed you guys. Jamestown. Hey. Oh, mixed reviews on Nantucket, huh? Yeah, I don't really know much about it. I've just heard of it, so I figured I would ask. Hmm. Ah, crazy, crazy. The density of this is so much better. I love it. And something else I was going to tweak with this sweater, but I actually decided against it. So I know, like, every now and then I'll go back to some of the comments on the sweater video, on the tutorial. And just something I've seen come in like time and time again is a lot of people, like, in that video, they don't believe me when I say that I did like 90 something rows for the ribbed band. Everybody's just like, oh, I did the 90 and it was like way too big or whatever. Like, nobody believes me, but it's true. It was 90 rows. But because I'm using the 6.5, so I'm like bigger, I think I ended up with 70 rows. And I'm also like making the sweater smaller. But yeah, anyways, I was going to say something I was thinking of tweaking, but I decided against it was, so the single crochets for the ribbing for this band, um, it takes such a long time, especially because I'm doing the front post single crochet. So I was like, maybe I could kind of like simplify the ribbed band and do double crochets, front post double crochets. So that'll take less time, you know? But I tried a couple different ways with the double crochet and it just doesn't look the same. So as much as it is kind of annoying to have the single crochets just because it takes so long, um, it's just something that the double crochets can't compete with. Like the doubles were not as tight. They were a lot more see-through. And even the texture of the rib just didn't look good compared to this. So I actually opted to keep a single crochet ribbed band, which I thought I was going to change. But yeah, I think what I'm most excited for is just the drape of this and then the neckline. I need to fix the neckline. Mm-hmm. Oh, Hampton Beach. Okay, we have another Hampton Beach voter. No rocks, but more of a boardwalk vibe. Honestly, that's cool with me. Everybody hates rocks. I don't want to walk on the rocks. Hi from Tennessee. Oh, yeah. Coffee. It's hitting. It's hitting me. I appreciate these beach suggestions because I don't know anything. Anything. Now, very random question, but for future live stream purposes, which days work better for you guys? Wednesdays, Thursdays, or Fridays? Because I want to try to gear more towards you guys. I actually meant to live stream yesterday, but you guys know me. So here we are today. I think I like Friday live streams, but I know everybody's schedule is different. I think other than taking the girl on a WALK, I think the rest of the day is honestly just going to be here at the house. It's super windy today, like all of a sudden. And I really don't want to be out in that. Let's see. So it's 30 degrees, right? But with the wind, it says it feels like 20. 20. Kind of cold. And then we get snow tomorrow at night. Let me turn off this TV. Fridays. Wednesday, Fridays. Okay. I like Fridays. I can do Fridays. Damn. See, live streams always go so fast. We're already at 50 minutes. Feels like 20. Oh, so something else that's kind of like been on my mind, been thinking about for a while now. Well, the first thing is that I've really been wanting to switch my website. I currently use Squarespace, but for like a few different reasons. I think I want to switch, or I know I want to switch to Shopify. But with the switch, there's like a few things I've been considering, and I kind of wanted your guys' honest opinion. Um, I don't necessarily want to say rebranding, but I don't even know how to describe this. I think I might want to change like my website name, and I like want to give like my yarn a name. Maybe it's just I have a hard time comprehending it because it's like me, but like right now my website is just my name. It's erinreiko.com. But like my yarns, I guess like when you guys think of my yarns and what I do, like do you consider my yarns like you just call it Erin Reiko, right? Like Erin Reiko yarns? Well, anyways, I have like, I don't know, something's not jiving with me. So I might want to like change the name. And I have a few different like names in mind, but I didn't know if changing like my website name to something else would be a good thing or if it would be like too confusing because I've used erinreiko.com for three years now, going on 4. My God, has it already been that long? Yeah, like 3 years, 3.5 years. So yeah, I think it's like I'm very heavily considering changing like the name of my website and just like the name of the yarn. You should do what inspires you. It's hard. I can be very indecisive where it's like I'm just trying to be decisive, so I'm really taking my time. But anyways, it's all just kind of coming to the forefront of my mind because when I do change over to Shopify, I felt like that would be probably the best time to change whatever I need to change. It's kind of like starting off the new website on like the right foot. instead of just shifting everything over and then having to change the name of everything like later on, it's kind of like just get it done now. So I don't know. Yeah, kind of debating. I have a few different ideas in mind, but I feel like I could kind of go either way, but I also kind of like wanted opinion. So I don't know. I like that. You said Aaron Reiko sounds very high class, like Louis Vuitton. I just call it Aaron Reiko yarns. You're with the change, Jen. Okay. Just because you just moved to a new city and now would be a good time. Yeah. Also, just with like a lot of changes, like in personal life and everything, even Jordan was like, this is kind of like, if you want to change things up, this is it's like the time to like refresh, new start, all of that. So I guess I can kind of tell you guys a little bit. So I have a few different options. You guys know way back when I first started my shop, my website, um, I would call like my line and everything was like naughty hooker. Um, Understandably, some people didn't necessarily like that term or that name, but I really like the pun, the play on words. So an option could be naughty fibers. And at least from my research, I don't see anybody with that website. At least nothing popped up for me. So there's naughty fibers. The other option, if I wanted to keep like part of my name in there, could be like Reiko fibers, Reiko yarns, something like that. And then I had a few others that I wrote down, but I don't want to like say it out loud yet because I'm just not sure. But those are kind of like my options. I really like naughty fibers. It's kind of like giving the yarn an actual name. I don't know. Instead of just like, oh, this is the Aaron Reiko, whatever, which is cool and all, but I don't know if I necessarily want to keep it my name or like give it a name. You know what I'm saying? Does that make any sense? So yeah, the sweater. I hope it doesn't look crazy. And you see, look, the sun's gone. The sun is shifting. I think we have barely 2 hours left of sunlight and then it's gone. Jordan is taking the change. Thank you, Jen, for asking. He's taken it so well. He's honestly he's been like a flower that's just flourishing in the sunlight. He's having a lot of fun. He loves his new job. It's also kind of crazy to think that he has now been at this new job for a little bit over 6 months now. So yeah, he loves it though. And he's on a work trip right now. It's his first, like official work trip. And that man is busy right now. He's probably shooting right now, but he's having a really good time. And he's growing a lot. He's learning a lot on the computer. It's kind of crazy. Like when he first got the job, seeing him like make edits and videos and stuff at the beginning versus seeing him try to like edit something now and just like his techniques and everything. Crazy. They've got some skill and they're teaching him a lot too. So he loves it. He's super happy. I've been the one that's like going through a weird growth spurt and like a mental thing, but I think I think the move honestly took a bigger toll than I really thought it would. Took me longer to find a groove, and then even after I found the groove, like I said, like November, December, and like this January, I don't even know what happened those months. Like just fell out of it, and then kind of like in a rut the last month. So I've been like, ooh, ooh, ooh. Whereas Jordan's just like, that's cool. It is what it is. Asher. Someone asked me what. Oh, I'm not even speaking into the mic. Oh, is this thing on? Someone asked me what yarn I used for my sweater I made for the Advent. That Advent, unmatched. It's the best theme. And I didn't know what to tell them. A dedicated yarn name would be easier for people to spread the word. See? And that's something like, I didn't know if I was just overthinking it because like for me and like hearing my name out loud, like Erin Reiko Yarns, I don't know if it actually sounds fluid, you know? Like if someone was referring to my yarns or like talking about it, would they just be like, oh yeah, I used the Erin Reiko, whatever. Or if it would be easier, quicker, whatever, to just be like, oh, this is the Naughty Fibers, blah, 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 blah. Or this is the Reiko Yarns, da, 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 da. Instead of just like my name. You see what I'm saying? It's like, maybe I'm just overthinking it. It's just like in my head, it's like a name, like a person's name versus like, I don't want to say a product name, but like a brand name. And then that too, I was like, do I want to keep using like my name in place of it? I don't know. But then the downside, I was like, if I were to change my website, say for example, like naughtyfibers.com, would that be too confusing because I've been using Erin Reiko for so long, you know? Or if it would actually be easier, if people would like remember that easier or something. I don't know. So these are kind of like things I've been like balancing in my head. Also why I haven't changed websites yet, which is something I've been thinking about since probably over a year now. Definitely over a year. But yeah. Yeah, see, that's the hard thing. Asher, you're like reading my mind. You said you weren't you weren't sure if it was it's Aaron B or Aaron Reiko, which is weird because yeah, I get it. Like my YouTube is it's Aaron B. My Instagram is Aaron Reiko. My website is Aaron Reiko. You see, it's not fluid. So yeah. You think including Reiko is more memorable? I already follow quite a few naughty plus something accounts. Oh. See, I like that feedback. So when I was talking about this with Jordan, he liked both of my ideas, but he thought Naughty Fibers was more like lighthearted, not necessarily cutesy, versus when I pitched him like Reiko Fibers. He was like, it sounds so serious. So that's when I was kind of like, that's a good point. It might seem too like versus like, I don't want to say quirky, but you know what I'm saying? It's like giving it a cute name versus like serious name. So yeah. Reiko Fibers is cute. Thank you, Threaded Aura. Oh, that's cute. Reiko's Wools. See, I can't even say that. I would like tongue tie myself. Reiko's Wools. I'd want to say like Reiko's Rules. I can't even say. Oh, bye, Jen. Gotta go. Done with work. Been loving your videos since Boston. All the newness and inspiration. Thank you. Which is ironic because since we moved, I've been like, what's going on with my life? But I'm glad that you've been enjoying them. Oh, your best friend isn't a fiber artist and loves watching your videos with me. Woo! Tell your friend thanks. Thanks for being entertained. I'm here all week. Reiko's Naughty Fibers. That's an option. It might just be like too long, too wordy. I want to try to keep it like short and sweet. Yeah, I don't know. But I really appreciate that the feedback, guys, because for real, this is just something that's kind of like been in my head and not something that I've really been able to like, spit around. Is that the term? That's not the terminology. I can kind of, just share my thoughts, get feedback, sounding board. But the thing is, I will say, before my next yarn drop, which I don't even know when that's going to be yet, but I plan on launching the new website the new name, whatever, along with the next collection. So I think I am thinking about doing kind of like a small spring collection like I did with the winter one, but I also want to get like a summer or a fall advent planned and lined up. Excuse me. So nothing set in stone, but of course I am still very much stuck on Spirited Away. I think that would be a really fun advent. But that would kind of be more like a summery. Maybe I could do like a late spring to summer advent for Spirited Away. But yeah, I want to start pre-planning things instead of doing them like last minute. So yeah, have a few big things in the works. Hopefully a new website soon, new yarn collection again. Need to plan some advents. I think possibly for the next advent, instead of doing the 13 minis and the full hank, I might want to switch it up and do like 5 full hanks or 4 full hanks, something like that. Yeah, something different. Change it up a little bit. Asher, you understand me. Spitballing. You see, at a certain point, once we hit the hour mark, I'm just getting tongue-tied. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. But yeah, thank you guys for being sounding board. Give me feedback. I'm taking mental notes. Oh, it's almost that time. So currently it is 3:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't even know what time zone I'm in anymore. Eastern? Which means it's almost time for the puppy girl to go on a walk. Because once the sun is down and it's cold, we're not going out. I'm not going out again. It's not happening. Oh, hi. I'm hoping by the next live stream, hopefully next week, I will have a good amount of progress done on the Hobie project. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, you can check out my Instagram. I made a reel, but I got yarn from Hobie. I got a bunch of different colors in the Friends Kid Silk. It's like a lace weight number 0. And then I also got, oh my God, Tea Time, the standard Tea Time in like earthy tones. It's like gray, brown, blacks. And then I got, oh my gosh, it's the solid. I can't remember the name of it right now, which is why you guys need to go see the reel. Anyways, all of that yarn is for a relatively big project. So I'm hoping I have something of substance to share with you guys on the next live stream. Either that or this sweater. I will also admit, I think I bought too much yarn for the sweater I'm working on for this one. With that last sweater, that first one, I can't even remember the yardage, but I think it was like 1,500 or 1,600 yards for a sweater. I have this much. It's my first skein, and I have a good amount of work done. But I ended up buying, I think, nine skeins. Each skein is like 250 yards, give or take. So I think I have too much yarn. And I might, so random, you see the coffee's kicking in. I think I'm going to drive to a yarn store tomorrow. I think I'm going to drive to, I think it's called Sit and Knit. I think it's in Malden. See, I don't even know the area that well. But I kind of want to check out, I want to see some yarn in person. I haven't really like yarn shopped or like yarn window shopped since we moved, which is something that I really enjoy and like miss doing back in Cali. So yeah, I need to like make more of an effort to like go visit these yarn stores. Ironically, when we moved here, I thought that they would be like a little bit closer in the sense of like I could take public transportation. But there's one yarn store in Boston, like downtown, like South End, or yeah, I think it's considered South End. Um, but it's like in downtown Boston, and the train does not go directly there. So it's kind of like a hike to get there. And then, yeah. So there's that one. It's called Boston Fiber Company. And then the other yarn store, which is close as well, it's in Cambridge. But again, no public transport goes there. And because I don't really drive anymore. So I need to make a bigger effort. I just get lazy. Like I just want to do public everywhere because I'm so used to it now. And also, I won't lie, when I do have the chance to drive, it's a little nerve-wracking now. I did drive Jordan to the airport when he left. I've driven to the airport a couple of times, but let me tell you, it's a little stressful. It's stressful. There's this one part, because there's like no direct route to the airport, where you go from streets and like a stop sign to merging onto the highway. And that is stressful. And you have to cut over like 3 lanes really fast. So I get a little nervous to drive, if I'm being honest now, which is something I never had an issue with in California. Just like out of practice, I think. Oh yeah, we were talking about webs earlier. I want to go. Don't know when yet, but I did Google it. Let me see. Let me see how far Webs is. Oh, it's in Northampton. Is it Northampton or just like Northampton? Mass. Okay, let me see. Is that like west? Oh, it's major west. How far? Let's see. Directions. I take it back. Y'all, I take it back. I thought it was like 45 minutes. It's not. Right now, if I were to go, 2 hours. 2 hours and a half to get to Webs. See, that's what I'm saying. I have to plan for it. Oh, God. I will say driving on the East Coast is very different from driving in Cali. Still traffic, but it's like a little more aggressive. I feel like in Cali, it's very like there's a lot of traffic, but it's kind of like slow. Over here, people are like, it's too much. See, I'm just thinking about it. I'm getting stressed. I need to stop thinking about driving. We'll drive eventually. I mean, I'm going to be driving tomorrow, I think, if I can summon the courage. See this sweater. See, yeah, I thought it was closer. 2.5 hours. And also the yarn store that I'm thinking about going to tomorrow. Like I said, I think it's Sit and Knit. Let me see. There is, I believe, transport. I would have to take the orange line and then take the commuter rail. So I think there is transport that goes there. So I wouldn't have to drive. Oh, it's in Melrose. Melrose? Something like that. But the cost to take the train and then the commuter rail, it's like close to $10 one way and then $10 back. So it would actually be, I think, more time efficient and cost efficient to drive, which is why I'm thinking of driving. Yeah, so it says here, if I were to take the train, it's 51 minutes versus driving, it's 22. And then even, oh, I could take the bus, but it might be easier. See, I don't know. Yeah. But it's called Sit and Knit, and it's in Melrose. If you guys happen to be in the Massachusetts area, I want to go there tomorrow. Thank you guys for attending my first ever live stream since Boston. Can't believe it took me this long. And the fact that 40 of you are still here after an hour and 15, just listening to me. Very grateful for you guys. This has been fun. I want to do it again. Let's aim for Fridays. No guarantee on next Friday, but I will, if you guys like follow me on Instagram, I'm going to try to keep you guys updated on my stories. So I will definitely let you know by Wednesday if it's going to go down. Boom, boom. Elif, first and last one standing. What's good? All right. And I'm also glad that this crazy ass microphone worked out. I need to start using her more. It's sad because Jordan got me this, I think, in November. We had actually tried out a different mic, which I liked, but there was limitations. So he got me this nicer, bigger, heavy duty mic. And then that was like right at the time that I like mentally checked out and I was like in a depression funk. So yeah, I've had this mic for like almost 3 months and more. I've had it for like 3 months and it's my first time using it, which is sad. But Jojo, if you happen to watch this back later, because I know you watch my live stream sometimes, I'm using the mic today. Oh my God. The last thing I'm going to say, I have never experienced an electric bill this bad. It's bad, y'all. So the first like month or two that we moved in here, it was still kind of like the end of summer. So we didn't use the air or the heat, like nothing. We just opened the windows, chill. It was like $20, $25 for electric the first month. And then the first couple months. And then come, oh my God, the previous month, because we start like running the heat, because it's freaking -7 degrees Celsius, it was like just at 300. And I was like, oh my God, $300. I've never had a $300 electric bill before. And then January's bill came in. Let me just say, it's not chill. Do we have any guesses on how bad the bill was? Should also preface this with our leasing management company for this apartment, for this home, said, because of the freezing temperatures, they do highly suggest that we keep the heat on, keep it running versus turning it off and on. It's a lot more energy wasting, I guess, So also we prefer to keep the heat on because it's -7 degrees Celsius. It's cold. It's cold. We got one guess. I'm gonna let you know, Elif, it was $500. Technically, it was $499 and change. It was $499. Yeah, just for the electric. Just for the electric. Not including rent, not including water. What? Bad. That's so bad, right? Yeah, I've never experienced a $500 bill. I will say, even like when we were living back in Cali, when we moved out of my mom's and we were living in Riverside, we hadn't really had to experience like a heavy winter because winter in Cali was not bad. You know, we ran the heat, but it wasn't bad. Um, but like even with running the AC because the summer was bad, you know, we're running the AC every day, almost all day, you know. Even then, the bill, I think the worst the electric bill got in Riverside was under 100. It was always under $100. And then coming here and getting a bill that's 500 and it's just for utilities, cries and money. So bad. Asher, you're so mean. You're a bully. Cries in 65-degree winter. There was 2 weeks ago, there was like it was funny. We got like a company wide email from the management company, but they opened the email with, "Hey, Aaron, there's a polar vortex coming this week," meaning the temperatures are going to drop really low. It's like polar vortex, something I learned about in college. Never thought I'd actually have to like experience it. Anyways, just like 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, there were 2 days where in the morning, like when we woke up at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., it was one of the days, it was 5 degrees Fahrenheit in the morning. 5 degrees. I don't even know what that is Celsius. And then the next day it was, or the day prior, it was like 8 degrees Fahrenheit in the morning. And then the high was like 13. That was cold. So you can understand why having to run the heat is like so crucial. Also, like, even if we put on sweaters and stuff, we have a dog. I'm not going to like make her suffer in a cold home. You know, I'm going to run the heat for her. I'll gladly spend the 500 to keep her warm, you know, but $500 for an electric bill. I sound like my parents. Like growing up, I would hear them like, you know, turn off the air, turn off the electricity, like you're wasting electricity. I sound like my parents now, like complaining about a bill. But it's funny having to live it now. You live in Riverside and you're wearing a tank top right now. Realistically, I wanted to like wear this because this is a new sweater, like a new top that I got. So I wanted to kind of like test it out. But in all reality, when I'm here at home, even with the heat running, I have on 2 layers minimum. Like I'll have a top on or like a sweater on, and then I'll have like a hoodie on over it. So this is quite skimpy for today's live stream. This is rather cold. Like I'm kind of shivering right now. I don't know if you guys can see, but I'm like, I'm cold. I'm cold. But yeah, just giving y'all a little glimpse into my new East Coast life. Thanks for hearing me out. I hope you guys get a kick out of it, even though I'm like suffering over here in the cold. I hope it's entertaining, like at the very least. You guys watching me go through this. Somebody needs a good laugh. Okay. Yeah, thank you guys for coming again. Like I said, I know I gave like no heads up, barely like a 30-minute warning. This is just typical me. As much as I try to work on it, it's just I struggle with it. So I'm going to try my best to keep y'all updated on my stories on Instagram and like timing and what day. I'm going to aim for Fridays. But every time I come on a live stream, it just feels like we haven't skipped a beat. I miss this so much. So I want to try to be more consistent. Yeah. See, at least one of us got crocheting done. I got a row and a half. A row and a half. That might be a record for a live stream. Later tonight, after I take her on a walk, I've been watching Home Improvement again because I used to watch it as a kid and they have it on Netflix. I've been binging Home Improvement and I'm going to work on this a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to go now. I need to eat something. I love you guys. Stay warm. Watch your electric bill. Crochet. That's about it. Get some sun. Drink some water. I need some water. Crocheting like crazy. Thank you, Asher. Send the warmth. Send the Cali sun this way. Bye, guys. Have a good day. See you guys soon. Hopefully in a week. Bye, 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 bye.